And that speeding along at about 9,000 miles an hour with a speed beyond light was the Nag, streaking through John Scofield and his group, with Scofield featured on guitar, Gerry Granger bass, Dennis Chambers drums, Mitchell Foreman keyboard. And on the line with me is John Scofield, somewhere in area code 212 on the East Coast.
Right in Manhattan, Leigh.
Right in the concrete jungle.
Right in Greenwich Village, downtown. Yeah.
Oh, marvelous. I have great memories. Is Julius's still operating, John?
I don't know.
Great hamburger spot at one time.
Not here anymore, I don't think. Maybe it is. I don't know. It's a big area.
It certainly is. Well, it's good to have you with us tonight to preview your appearance on April 24th at Ordway and the McKnight. And I know as I look at your credits and your experience and your biography, there's certainly a mentor somewhere out there who turns you in the right direction, or maybe there were several.
I think there are several, Leigh. There are several guys that, musicians that I met early on that really changed me and helped me.
Who were they? At least one or two of them.
When I went to Berklee School of Music after high school, and Burton came there to teach. And he was the first real, great, accomplished jazz musician that I ever got to know on a personal basis. And he really just helped and shaped me a whole lot. He and Steve Swallow, who were both came up to Boston to teach.
And of course, Steve produced this date that you called.
Yeah, well, Steve and I have worked together a whole lot too. Since then, we've made a number of trio records, and he's produced the last 3 records I've done for Ground Vision.
Well, he's a mighty bassist in his own right, isn't he?
Oh, certainly, yeah. He's one of my favorites in the world, yeah.
Well, in the course of having dialogue with Gerry Burton, is there anything he said to you that turned you around or oriented you? Or?
No, I don't think it comes down to one phrase or one, key thing. It wasn't any secret that was passed along or anything, but just...
Nothing mystic.
No, not at all. No, just a real good musician that can actually do it, can actually sit down at their instruments. It's actually not about talk at all,
No, it's about music, isn't it?
Yeah, sitting down and playing an instrument and really making something happen and improvising, not just virtuosity or anything, but really improvising.
And Steve Swallow's role in this?
Same sort of thing, just a real together player. And he and I really have played together a whole lot. He's such an individualist, and this is so much of a stylist, and his own man, so that rubbed off, I hope.
Well, certainly working under the likes of Gerry, Mulligan, and Miles Davis was another kind of experience.
Oh, yeah, and both of those guys, I would say, too, have really showed me a whole lot. After I played with Gerry, I started playing with Gerry Mulligan and played in New York and stuff, and got to tour around the country some. And just, again, his command of his instrument and being an improviser. And that's the same lesson that you get from Miles Davis, too. They all sort of have the same thing to show is how to blow and how to improvise and how important creativity on the spot is.
In your current group with Granger and Chambers and Foreman, and probably you'll have Robert Aries on.
Yeah, we got
tour.
Rob Aries on keyboards. Mitchell is not in the touring band.
Well, in this project, Blue Matter, produced by Steve and you, what was your direction and your aim?
Well, I don't know what the aim was except for to make good music, but I think it's an interesting direction. Dennis Chambers was the drummer in George Clinton's Parliament Funkadelic band, which is a pretty well-known R&B group. He was with them for 8 or 10 years or something. So his background is primarily in funk, as in Gerry Granger's, the bass player, too. Same sort of thing. He was in pockets. And both these guys have studied jazz music as well.
Well, for some of our listeners who really don't understand the term funk as you used it, how would you elaborate on that and define it?
Oh, God, I don't know.
Let me leave that with you.
It's hard as explaining what jazz is.
Yes, I know it is.
But, I mean, that's the electric, that's the black music of the last 20 years, from James Brown to Sly Stone and all that,
Well, that absolutely puts it, in focus for us.
Anyway, these musicians are coming out of that as well as jazz, and it's nice to play with a rhythm section like that. I got into playing with electric rhythm sections like that when I was playing with Miles recently, and.
As you observe the use of electronics, what do you like about the whole age of electronics in music?
I just think it gives you more orchestral colors, and a synthesizer can be a marvelous instrument, and just the recording techniques that will really be able to refine the sound, after it's on tape, to change the tone of it. Now, what's being done today. And you just have more control over it, and it can be a curse as well as a blessing. And
well, from the standpoint of being a curse, why would it be a curse?
Well, I think that when you learn to play an acoustic instrument, you have to learn how to manipulate the tone physically, which takes a lot of work and everything. On a lot of synthesizers, there you have 101 preset sounds that are very seductive, and they tend to be overused and misused, and it's easy to be powerful with a synthesizer.
Toys and technology?
Yeah, and technology gives you a lot of easy access to power, but it can be misused.
Do you think there are musicians out there who are power brokers today?
Oh yeah, without a doubt, and that's the way it always will be, but it's up to real musicians to get a hold of these instruments, like has happened with with Joe Zawinul or whoever,
Well, it's a pleasure talking to you, John Scofield.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
And if it's a curse or a blessing, whatever you use in the way of instruments may taste way at all.
Oh, well, thank you. I think that's my sentiments, too.
Meet you on Friday, April 24th at the McKnight Theater, Ordway, St. Paul, Minnesota.
That's right. We'll be there.
Thank you. Good of you to take time and talk with us.
Okay, Leigh, thank you.
John Scofield, who will be arriving at McKnight on Friday, April 24th.